Following up with our next character return, we are getting some Final Fantasy XII love with the return of Fran and her Lost Chapters with her level 70 Awakening, rework, and EX debut, as well as Ashe's EX Plus. Ashe did not get a rework or level 70 as she has already had one prior. One of these characters are going to get what they sorely needed, and one of these characters are just kind of going to be pretty disappointing. And I'm pretty sure you're going to find out who as we go into talking about this. And let's go ahead and just, I want to save the better one for last this time around. So all Ashe ended up getting was an EX Plus. Now what does this EX Plus do? It makes her EX hit harder, and she gets splash damage on both forms, Maelstrom's Bolt and Arc Blast. She gets splash damage, and she gets access to her buffs and frame buff at the beginning of the quest. And that's it. I'm not kidding. That's it. She also gets access to an HP attack plus, which is a 2-hit single target physical HP attack, which is all right, I guess. That's okay. I'm gonna be quite honest here, guys. This is most definitely an EX Plus that it should have came out in the early Chaos era. Like, these upgrades are not befitting of the Chaos era that we're in currently, and Ashe needs an extraordinarily amount of high setup to be used properly in the current state of the Chaos era that we are in. While yes, she does have some pretty good buffs that she could supply to the party, her max brave is laughably low for a character who hits as many times as she does with her second skill and whatnot. But she's high maintenance. She requires a lot to get going. Her HP attack plus, while is serviceable, it's not the greatest. And while her EX could do good damage and the guaranteed stun is nice, it's just not something. She needed a little more. She needed a little more oomph, especially since her skills are still okay. Like, they were good for the time that they got the rework, but now we just needed a little more oomph, maybe a little more additional ability from them. I feel Heaven's Wrath could have been like a double executing HP attack, maybe reduce the amount of brave hits per HP attack. North's Wind's Glow definitely needs some more hits, higher potencies. She definitely needed some additional something in here. Maybe plus versions of her abilities. Her EX Plus gives her access to plus versions of her abilities. Whatever it is, I'm sure everyone has their own set of ideas, but unfortunately Ashe just did not receive the amount that she needed to really be someone that doesn't need extraordinary amounts of setup. Because Ashe, while yes, is playable, she needs other characters to really help her out. So unfortunately, it is a no from a girl Ashe. I am a little upset with the EX Plus. I'm even debating if I even want to do it. I probably still will, just because I like it that much. But it is a bit of a shame. I definitely do feel like this is an EX Plus that should have came out in the early Chaos era, and Ashe would have actually been completely viable then. I feel like Ashe actually would have been usable without the high maintenance then. But as it stands now, this is not an EX Plus that should be fitting in the mid Chaos, and she needs a lot of setup in order to get play. In order to get some good play. Now let's move on to the main girl of the banner, Fran. Fran actually got some pretty good much needed love. Both of her abilities now will actually inflict multiple stacks of her VR's punishment. Frame debuff, 2 stacks from her first skill, 3 stacks from her second skill, and it is AoE, which is really nice. That is really nice. Potency increases. I believe she got an additional usage on her whip kick, which actually is very needed. Her EX Shatterheart is at base a 4-hit single target HP attack, which in its plus variant is a 6-hit single target HP attack. Its EX Plus changes it to an AoE option with split damage. All EX Plus considered, it does execute twice. Gives her access to a new frame buff, which increases her attack by I think like 10%. and lowers the enemy's speed by 10%, which doesn't sound all that impressive, but considering as much as Fran debuffs in the first place, it stacks up, which is really nice. And she'll get access to both of these frame buffs at the beginning of the quest at 2 out of 3. As well as inflicting, I believe it was 2 or 3 stacks of Viera's punishment upon use. So, and her C65 allows her to inflict more stacks of Viera's punishment, as well as her EX plus, allowing you to start with 2 stacks of the frame buff on enemies at the beginning of the battle, which is really nice. Fran has a ton ways of actually getting set up and get going, which is really, really good. And something that she struggled with heavily before, and now it's something that's like, even if they auto cleanse, it might take just a turn or two just for her to get set back up, because her HP attack plus got an improvement, which can help out a lot. It's AoE, so only single target damage, but it is AoE, so you're gonna help get the stacks going on the other ones if you just need to shoot off an HP attack plus for a turn. And other characters can help her get set up onto the Viera's punishment at 5 stacks. Honestly, I'm going to be honest, I do believe Fran holds some importance for the Chaos era. I do honestly believe that. Mostly because she's an absolute powerhouse with one of the most potent debuffs in the game. Sure, auto-cleansing is a pain in the ass, but if you know what you are doing with Fran, and even when auto-cleansing comes, it might take maybe just a turn or 2 of her turns to get her back up and running. And then she's starting to slam for all that damage again. And with literally just because of the increased ability to her HP attack plus to help out her longevity, like I definitely feel like Fran can get going much quicker, and as long as you know what you're doing and what you're and how you're using her, Fran, I definitely do believe Fran is important to the Chaos era. The damage that she does, the debuff that she inflicts, it's all just insane. It's all just wild. I definitely do believe Fran is a character that you should be pulling on to pick up, especially if you are in high need of a character like this. I will say though, however, if you don't really need DPS or debuffs, because you have some pretty good debuffs, characters such as maybe like the Neil or some other characters like that. If honestly you believe you are okay without Fran, then you can safely say you can skip on this banner. But I do believe if you are in need of a character such as Fran, I've definitely 100% believe that this is a banner you should be putting on. And that'll pretty much do it on this one. Unfortunately, it's a disappointing outcome for our girl Ashe. But if you do choose to build her up, you want a 3 out of 3-er, just to pretty much just to get the damage that she needs, because it's like she just needs the additional health, she needs the additional damage, and dual splash damage on the skill on her EX is actually kind of nice. But I feel like she just needed a little more oomph than what she has now. Fran, I do believe it's important. Definitely 3 out of 3 here, because that's where she gets the executed twice in her EX, which, I mean, obviously it helps out a lot, and you want to make sure you have that. But that'll wrap it up for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you are pulling on this banner, let me know how you did down below. Let me know who you were aiming for specifically, and how you did, how much it took, and all that jazz. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.